About 15 months ago, I left Belgium and moved to the Czech Republic to start over completely from scratch. I had no useful skills and no connections. By now, I'm self-employed and this is what I do.
In the city, remember used to drive a Yukon. I pick up whenever you call. In the parking lot in Tucson, like, are you with me? In the Phantom with the roof gone.
So I'm gonna explain what remote appointment setting is real fast and give you a short overview. So the core of our business is that businesses need qualified leads. In an ideal world, they would get contacted by customers all the time and people would ask for their products, but in the real world, unfortunately for them, that's not how it is. They're gonna need people reaching out to people to try to get their services or products sold. So that's what I do. Then they're gonna provide us with a lead list or we're gonna get those leads ourselves. Of course, I prefer getting a lead list from the business themselves because that usually means they have a list of profiles or people that they targeted through Facebook campaigns or whatever, and they have a profile that matches their ideal customer profile, their ICP. So that gives us more chance to reach people that are genuinely interested in the product or service that we're pitching. If they don't provide us with a lead list, we're just going to get these leads ourselves. We can get them from websites. In Belgium, we have something like Ad Hoc or Company Web, where you just get an extract of the business register, and then you take those leads, you get their details, and you call them.
Something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. You got a minute?
So getting leads is not that difficult. Then we're going to reach out through multiple channels. In my case, that's only cold outreach to calling or through email. But there are multiple ways to reach out to leads. You have LinkedIn, you have WhatsApp, you have Facebook forums, you have SMS, whatever. There's tons of options. Then when we reach out, when we have somebody on the phone, we need to find out if we are talking to the decision maker. It makes no sense at all to proceed with a pitch to a person that has no final decision-making responsibilities. So we're going to ask first, this is the subject. I would like to talk to the person who's in charge of this subject. If we do have a decision maker on the phone, only then we're going to proceed with the call. And when we proceed with the call, we start by asking questions, qualifying questions, because we generally want to see, can we really help these businesses or people if you're selling direct to customers? I know there are also tons of black hat salesmen who try to sell anything to anyone, but I'm not that guy. So I only proceed if it's a really good fit. And if there is a fit, if we can improve their situation, only then we're going to schedule an appointment with a sales rep. If it's not a good fit, we just delete the lead if they are useless, but we can still keep them if there is future potential. So let's say a business told me that right now we're expanding, we can't really use the process you're selling right now or your service or your app or whatever, but in 6 months when the expansion is complete or the acquisition of a different company, we might be in need of some app or some process that makes everything more efficient. Maybe you can call us back then to see if there is a fit. Of course, then we schedule this call in our own calendar for in 3 or 6 months and we call them back. And if not, if there's just no fit and there won't be any fit in the future, then we just delete it and we go on to the next. So that's it, real fast. Now let's get back into the video. First off, being a freelancer means you have to be disciplined.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs?
You have to be organized and you have to have at least some kind of structure or schedule to stick to. That's what I did last weekend. I made a schedule, not only for work, but also for everything outside of work. So I'm not gonna yap too much and I'm just gonna show you the schedule I made. So on Monday, we had check study at 8:30 a.m. Check, we did that. After that, it's client work from 9 to 3, so that's cold calling. Lunch break from 12 to 1, more client work. And then I gave myself here like a little transition buffer. That's something I did in the middle of the week. Before that, I didn't do it. Like all my blogs just followed up after each other, and that wasn't realistic, you know? You have to have like at least 15 minutes to go between tasks, like go to the toilet, have a drink, clean something, whatever. So as you see, these blue blocks are everything that is not work related, but that are my other interests, like editing, learning, videography or capturing videos like what I'm doing now, workout, gym, running, dinner, e-commerce, all that stuff. So in general, the one constant is my check study and breaking the fast at between 12 and 1 p.m. As you can see here, I have this big block, quality time with my girlfriend. In my opinion, it's important to put it in there because if not, I'm just gonna be unorganized and I might be working through that block, and I also have to give some time to my girl, because she does a lot for me and I just love her and it's fun. This is the cutest thing ever. What I also did, I don't know if you can see it very well, I'm gonna try to zoom that stuff. The very important part. On the end of every day, I do expenses money log. My mom actually told me to do it every day. She said, hey dumbass, why do you do it once every 2 weeks and you give yourself all this unnecessary amounts of work? Just do it once every day, it takes 5 or 10 minutes and then it's done. And then I was like, she is a genius and I'm a retard. So I did it and that's what I do now. So let's talk about some benefits of remote appointment setting. The first one is obvious. Look at how I'm dressed. I'm literally working from home, in my hoodie, in my sweatsuit, full Nike, on my slippers, talking to managers, CEOs, and they have no idea I look like this. Previously, I worked in the center of Prague, so I had to wake up at least an hour earlier than I do now. Then I had to walk to the bus stop, take a bus to the metro station. At the metro station, I had to take the metro to a different metro station, and from there I had to walk like 10 minutes to the office. And I hated every minute on public transport. Back in Belgium, I enjoyed driving to work. It was always 20 minutes or 25 minutes in the car. I was alone, so no smelly people, no loud people, nobody disturbing me. And that part of my life, which I really enjoyed, was gone. But I had to adapt, so that's what I did. Before I came to the Czech Republic, I literally had no experience in an office job. That caused me to arrive here without any real valuable skills. And when you have no valuable skills, the array of choices you have for jobs as an expat here in Prague are not that great.
Name 10 books.
I chose a job as a customer care agent for a Belgian company with also part of the company in Prague. After about a month of my arrival and working as a customer care agent, we were put on a commercial cold calling pilot project, so like a test project, me and 3 other colleagues. And from there on, it was pretty obvious that I had like a natural knack for it. I was good at calling people, I had the best performance of my team, and the customer, the client who we worked for was really happy with the performance. They listened back to a lot of our calls and eventually they asked specifically to only continue with me on the project. At the time, of course, that was really nice for me to hear because I just came to a different country, I had no skills, I wasn't that confident in what I was doing, but I was motivated and I was willing to grind. So then I started working for that client exclusively, and in about a year, I had a 16.9% conversion rate on all cold calls I did. These were not all hot leads, obviously. There were also warm and neutral leads, but they were all qualified leads. So I had a decision maker on the line. They were interested. They wanted to schedule an appointment with a sales rep. The hot leads and the warm leads, they were more urgent. The neutral leads, they want to have a meeting with a sales rep, but not right now. It's like in 3 or 4 months. They have to talk to some other people, and they are also included in that 16.9%. But for business-to-business cold calling, 16.9% conversion rate is pretty good. Now, because I had these good performances early on, I was also motivated to learn more about it. So I read a book, Influenced by Robert Cialdini. I hope I pronounce his name right. And the things I learned there, I immediately applied to the calls. I also watched some YouTube videos about it, and just to try to improve the craft, let's say. After a few months, that put me in a position where I could negotiate with my boss, my employer, to get a better pay. Because remember, I moved here to work for less than a minimum wage in Belgium. Previously at my job in Belgium, I earned about double of what I made here when I started. These negotiations went pretty well. I got a 10% raise and I was happy for a while. I continued working, performance stayed good, but I wanted more. I was hungry. I knew the money I was bringing in for the company, and I still felt like I was underpaid. So 3 months after that, I went to my boss again and I asked for another raise. This time, it wasn't as easy. We didn't come to an agreement, but they told me that it was possible for me to quit my job, work as a freelancer, and then that they would hire me under a contract like that, and that would make it possible for me to charge a higher hourly rate, and they would be able to afford that, but only 20 hours a week. Fast forward now, we're March 2026, and about a month ago, we finalized the negotiations and they agreed to hire me for 20 hours a week instead of the previous 40 hours a week. I have time to learn videography. I have time to learn editing. I have time to read books. I have time to work out more. I have time to learn Czech. And now I feel like everything is falling into place. And then last but not least, you really learn how to handle different personalities. When you're cold calling businesses, you're going to have a lot of different people on the phone. You're going to have lots of different characters. You're going to have lots of different energies. You're going to have lots of different objections. And the more you hear these people, the more you talk to them, the more you find ways to go around these objections. If you feel that people are impatient or they don't really want to call, you find ways to get their respect or to make them feel at ease and to show you that you value and respect their time, which eventually then makes them want to talk to you because you were friendly, you showed respect, and you picked up the little mannerisms or the little details in their tone of voice that showed you that, this is the approach I'm going to have to take here, because if I do it like this, I'm not going to get the result I wanted, and these people are not going to be actively listening. You're never going to convert a person that doesn't want to talk to you. It's easy. Even if they need your service, if they don't like you from the start, they're never going to buy from you. I think learning to talk to people, the psychology behind talking to people is just something that is of such great value. I really think it's one of the most important skills humans can have. Building human connection, even if it is through selling, even if there's something in it for you, if you still try to sell from the genuine feeling of, I want to help these businesses, I want to provide something for them too, and not only for me, people are going to appreciate that. And you're going to be surprised if people like talking to you, if they had fun in the conversation, or if it was respectful, if you made them feel a little respected and valued, they're going to be willing to give you a lot more business than you initially thought. These are just my fast thoughts of the benefits of remote appointment setting and everything I've learned so far. I was just winging it. I haven't written anything down. Also, English is not my native language, so if I made some grammatical mistakes, please forgive me. I will get better in the future. But yeah, that's it. I think we can wrap it up here. Next week is going to be something different. I'm going to go visit my family in Belgium, and I'm going to try out some new gear that I bought for videography. So hopefully we can get some cool shots. I hope my editing will also get a little bit better, and that's it. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and until the next one.